This is the first time we've ever done a conference on performance as a concept at Cambridge, and of course it's coming up everywhere. Everyone is talking now about performance. One of the reasons for that is that we're moving into what we might call a post-print world with digitisation and globalisation, and so there is a sense, of course artists have had this sense for a very long time already, but there's a sense now in the academy too that we need perhaps new models or new paradigms for how to approach the consumption of a work of art, whether it's a book or a painting or a sculpture or a theatre show. And one of the interesting things about my background as a screenwriter is that as a practitioner in the film industry, we very rarely talked about the text. We never really discussed much what works meant. We only spoke about what we were going to do or not do to this or that audience. And so for me, a work of art of any kind is, as a creative writer, is an address. It's an address that is not only to a multiple and mixed audience, but is also implying many audiences. And of course this is especially true with works of art from the past. And in fact, I think one of the great pleasures of engaging with a work of art from the past is precisely the co-presence of what are very often contradictory audiences. Say something like a Greek tragedy, you've got the 5th century Athenians it was originally written for, you've got all the people who kept the thing alive in the intervening 2,500 years, and then you've got today's modern audience and what it might mean for them. And it's the clash of those implied audiences that makes the drama. Why I think performance is a wonderful paradigm to suggest is that it underscores the multiple and mixed nature of the messaging that I think belongs to all artworks. I don't think we do receive artworks as single, individual, singular, stable selves, which you would think we did if you read a lot of literary theory since the war. It's very often presupposing an individual reader or viewer. It's all in the singular, not the plural. So in a sense what we're doing by talking about performance is bringing back the metaphor of the plural space, the public space, that symbolic image of the theatre going all the way back to 5th century Athens with its scoop of collectivity and its stone. And we're saying there is a real, very specific utility today in that idea of the theatrical metaphor, in the sense that you could say, and people do say, everything is political. Of course, we could also say everything is performance. And in some ways, that is in fact what this conference is asking. In what way exactly might we say everything is performance? Performance is itself a space of interdisciplinarity. In other words, it is the question, what does painting, literature, sculpture, music, even academic discourse, what do they all have in common as exchanges? Why performance is useful, perhaps, is that it brings up the idea of audience as a new conceptual model for how works are received and for how the audiences for them are always part of and implicated in the object in the first place. And it allows us to propose a notion of the work as a time-specific gesture rather than an object, as a play, perhaps a play about precisely the mixed nature of audiences at a very specific cultural moment.